student. We are going to learn about Science and Technology 2, Chapter 8, Useful and Harmful Microbes. Okay, you are familiar with a different type of microbes which are all around us but cannot be seen with our eyes. In what way are they related to our everyday life? So let me start from useful microorganisms. So from that, first is the Lactobacilli. So Lactobacilli is blue rod shaped organism shown in the diagram here. Okay, a kind of bacteria. It's a kind of bacteria. They are minute and rectangular in shape. Lactobacilli are anaerobic bacteria, means they do not respire in the presence of oxygen. They can produce energy without the use of oxygen. The lactobacilli convert lactose, the sugar in the milk, into lactic acid. This process is called fermentation. As a result, pH of milk decreases, causing coagulation of milk protein. Thus, milk protein are separated from other constituent of milk. This what happened when milk change into yogurt. So yogurt has a specific sour taste due to lactic acid. The low pH destroy harmful microbes present in the milk. Okay. Next, the lactobacilli convert lactose in the sugar milk and coagulation form, and due to this lactic acid the taste of milk become or yogurt become sour. Now uses of lactobacilli: various milk products like yogurt, buttermilk, ghee, cheese, fricander, etc. can be obtained by fermentation of milk. So next, lactobacilli fermentation is useful for large scale production of cider, coca, pickles of vegetable, etc. Lactobacilli and some other useful microbes taken together are used to treat abdominal discomfort. Means if stomach paining is there, that time they can be used. Leavened fodder offered to domestic cattle like cows, buffalo, is fodder fermented with the help of lactobacilli. So they can be get proper nutrients and can be large amount of milk production we can obtain. The lactobacilli fermentation process is used to make wine and some type of breads. Okay. The next slide we will see of next bacteria, that is what a rhizobium. It is also one of the useful bacteria, and this bacteria is also called as symbiotic bacteria. So role and importance of this rhizobium. Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acid. Here you can see the diagram where small nodules, okay, or outgrowth is come over the root. This is called as root nodules. Okay, and this plant and is exchanged and get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Such a mutually beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. Means bacteria give them nitrates, nitrate, amino acid, and instead of that, plant give them carbohydrates and place to live there. So this exchange is called as symbiosis. Rhizobia produce nitrogenous compound from atmospheric nitrogen. However, for this process of nitrogen fixation, they need leguminous plants. So, which are the leguminous plant? Here the example is given: bean, sweet sweet pea, nitrogenous compound, and made available by rhizobia. So here another example is the soya bean. Okay, here these all plants use as a host for the bacteria. Beans and pulses are rich in protein due to the nitrogenous compound made available by rhizobia. After harvesting the leguminous crops, the leftover roots and other plants part are deliberately dumped in farm soil to maintain its bacterial population, so they can provide with all types of nitrates, nitrites, amino acids into the soil. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizer and thus work to the benefit of farmer, because using chemical fertilizer sometimes destroy the fertility of soil. So this type of bacteria are used to maintain the fertility of soil for a long time. Then next example of useful bacteria is the yeast. Okay, most yeast reproduce asexually by mitosis, and many do by the process known as a symmetric division process known as a budding. With their single cell growth habit, yeast can be convert yeast cell are member of the fungus kingdom. They are single-celled microorganisms. Yeast cell carry out the fermentation during process of obtaining its nutrition. It convert carbohydrates into alcohol and carbon dioxide. During the baking of bread, the same fermentation process of the yeast is used. Many other processes involving the fermentation also involve use of yeast. Alcohol is produced along with the sugar in sugar factories. So molasses are rich in carbohydrates. They are fermented with the yeast. Now here the molasses means the left out of sugar cane after removing their juice. Okay. By this process, ethanol here chemical formula is given C2H5OH. Ethanol is obtained as a main product and other alcohol are obtained as a secondary product. A yeast, Yerobia lipolytica, is used in bioremediation. Now, what is meant by bioremediation? So, bioremediation is a branch of biotechnology that employs the use of living organisms like microbes and bacteria in the removal of contaminant, pollutant, and toxins from soil, water, and other environments. Bioremediation is used to clean up oil spill or contaminated ground water. So these bacteria are eating or engulfing oil molecules and so that they can clear the water. Production of alcohol with the help of this yeast. In the absence of oxygen, yeast convert the sugar of wine grapes into alcohol and carbon dioxide through the process of fermentation. The more sugar in the grapes, the higher the potential alcohol level of the wine is if the yeast are allowed to carry out fermentation to dryness. In the absence of oxygen, yeast convert the sugar of wine grapes into alcohol and carbon dioxide through the process of fermentation. Okay, the more sugar in the grapes, the higher the potential alcohol level of the wine if the yeast are allowed to carry out the fermentation to dryness. Okay, so these are the useful bacteria. Next onward we will see other part of this lesson. So here we will stop. Thank you.